Tom Olszta. From economy to luxury, you'll find it at Duddy Ford. By Diamond Chevrolet, where you always get a diamond of a deal. And by Barrett Landscaping. They'll make your lawn green for a lot of green or not so much green. Big Shot Bowling is brought to you in conjunction with the World Candlepin Bowlers Congress. Hi, everybody. I'm Bob Fouracre along with Dan the Man Murphy here on Big Shot Bowling. And as always, we'll be sharing with you some quality Candlepin bowlers. Joe Ashline is the challenger, and he'll be taking on the defending champ in the name of Tom Olszta. And it should be a good one. A couple of guys that can really fire the ball.
Well, they're two hard throwers, probably one of two of the hardest throwers on the tour. Last week, Tommy Olszta defeated Bruce Young, stopped his string at 4. Tom is trying to try a streak of his own, and standing in his way, of course, is Joe Ashline.
Let's take a close-up, first of all, of the challenger from Nashua, New Hampshire, Joe Ashline.
Or Nashua.
Nashua, they say.
Well, whatever. He carries an average of 129 wherever he lives, and he's got a high single of 203 and a high triple of 495.
Not too shabby at all. And he'll be taking on our defending champ. That's Tom Olszta. Tom last week posted a 407. He was on fire. Here's Tommy.
Okay, and he carries another incredible high single. Both of these bowlers, 209 for Tommy. He carries an average of 126, a 496 for a high triple. So their stats are pretty close. I expect the match to be the same way.
I thought his average last week was 209. Oh, that's his high single.
You had the card upside down.
Hey, it's Tom Olszta, our defending champ, taking on Joe Ashline. Three-string match right here on Big Shot Bowling. We'll be back with the first game, but before we do, let's break for these messages. And to get it rolling is Joe Ashline, the challenger. Oh, is he quick. He sprays down 8 on the first ball.
And he leaves himself a 6 in the 8. Norwood going to try to cut the 6 on the right-hand side.
It's going to be a tough one. No go. This is the 4th year on the Pro Tour for Joe. And a 9. Joe Ashline with an average of a 129, high single of a 203, high triple of a 495. Joe hoping to spare. Missed the lead lady. And another 9. Back-to-back 9s for the challenger as he lifts off this match against our champ, Tom Olszta. The winner will be picking up a check for $200. The runner-up, $100. The drop of 7 by Tom. Last week, Tom had a fine win over Bruce Young, a 407 to a 348. Oh,
right
one.
Around the 10 pin. Yes, split the 1 and the 2. The head pin went right down next to the 10, but never knocked it over.
And a 10. Tom last week en route to that 407 had games of 148, 138, and a 121. 6 strikes and 8 spares. And he had a chance to take on Walter J. DeRue, the amateur champ, and he refused to, so Walter just got up there and bowled himself.
Nice mark by Tommy. Well, you know, I didn't realize it. He's an unknown. Tommy wasn't going to bowl anyone he wasn't quite sure of.
Yeah, you never know,
He was coached by John Liggums.
Yeah.
That's scary enough.
Oh, yeah, Liggums is scary, too, yeah. Here's the challenger. Oh, what a tough one.
1, 8, and 9. Spread eagle plus the 5 pin for Joe Ashline. This is qualifying score. That's for 5 games. 694. Shade under 140 a game.
He's out flinging right now. Joe was with us once before.
He met Walt Hardiman back in March of '89 and lost to Walt Hardiman 369 to 335. So, like Tommy Olszta was last week, he's yet to win a match on Big Shot Bowling.
Drop of 7. He started off with a couple of 9s and then a disappointing 6.
Right now he's looking at the 3, 6, and the 4.
Joe Ashline.
And 9 box, and disappointing 33 so far after 4 frames.
Our scorekeeper on the board that you see on your screen, Cheryl Young. Our statistician, Dottie Lorick. And our head official is Tony Zernicke. He's calling the balls and strikes and making all the big decisions here. Tom Olszta got a 5 on his spare and ends up with an 8.
And make it 33. 9-pin advantage so far for Tom Olszta.
In the pocket, drop 6. Looking down at the 2, 4, 7, and off to the right, the 6-pin. Tommy has been on the tour for 15 years, and over the years, he has won a whole bunch of tournaments. 8 victories outright and 1 tie, where he shared the title once. So I guess you could say he won 9, right?
Right.
The champ is up by 10 after 4 in the first of 3. I'd like to thank Gary Levine at Mr. Tux for suiting me up for this match.
Again, an outstanding job.
Oh, he did. When thinking formal wear, you got to think Mr. Tux in Worcester or Natick.
I mean, the guy hasn't got much to work with, so anything
No,
he does.
that he doesn't, but he...
Joe Ashline still looking for his first mark.
You're mad because he won't let you get into a tux.
Well, that's the other part of the story. Just not famous enough to have tux tailored.
You've only won 5 New Hampshire state titles, so
I think that would be worth something.
Yeah, well, a lot of tucks from Mr. Tux, I'll tell you that.
There's
yes, the home run ball by Joe Ashline. His first mark of the match, here it is, as he explodes the strikey out. Here's Tom. Tom coming back with a strong one. Looking down at the 5, he'll have to go pin picking. And he is a good pin picker. 32 years of age, and he's been on top of the world of candlepin bowling for at least a decade plus.
Spare up for Tommy in the 5th.
A couple of spares now for the champ in the first game. Both bowlers will be receiving trophies from George Girton Trophy Center. They're located in the heart of the Commonwealth in Worcester, Massachusetts, on Southbridge Street.
Flush on the head pin is Tommy. Disappointing 4 on the spare.
Tom Olszta. He works as a sales rep for Frito-Lay.
Oops. Well, we got a little scoreboard blunder here. But
Cheryl will fix
right.
it up.
Sure.
Drop of 5 for Joe Ashline.
4 horsemen plus the 8-pin in the back. Piece of wood to help him out, but off target on the head pin.
That's a 9 put into the strike by Joe. Joe makes his home in Nashua, New Hampshire.
Used to live in Massachusetts. Kicked him out of there.
Is that right?
Yeah. Came north.
North of the border. Drop of 7 for Joe. Joe so far with 1 mark, that being a strike. Back in the 6th frame.
He's looking at the 147 now. He's got to naturally clip that head pin and have a shot at making the spare. Joe throws so hard. Live and die by the sword in his case, and if he's not on the head pin, he could run into all kinds of trouble.
Joe's waiting for the wood to settle down on the pin plate. Out of 10 for Joe Ashline. Joe with an 82 after 8. And here's the champ, Tom Olszta. Big ball by Tom, getting them all but the 4. Looking for a spare.
He's going down to check that piece of wood that's rolling, but they roll back into play. And Tommy's not going to want it to stay there. That's quite a bit out in front of the 4-pin.
A tough one. Ugly wood that time. And a 10 count for the champ. Tom looking for his 2nd straight win here on Big Shot Bowling. The record for the most consecutive wins held by Pistol Peter Flynn. He once ripped off 10 in a row. Quite an accomplishment. And he has the record for the most overall wins over the years here on Big Shot Bowling. Peter has recorded 15. Oh, tough one for Tommy. We're coming into the home stretch of the first game here on Big Shot Bowling. It's all coming to you from the Londonderry Bowling Center in Londonderry, New Hampshire. Down to the final 2 in the first. 82-86 in a low-scoring affair with the champ up by 4.
Joe Ashline carries an average of 129. As you can see, he's considerably under that right now. Tough shot here. He's got the 2, 5, and 8. The problem is going to be the sleeper in the back, the 8-pin.
Tommy with 2 spares and disappointing fills on both of the spares. Spare 5, spare 4. Joe with 1 mark, a strike 9. And he gets a 10 count, so he's at a 92. All but the king. That's why they call it the king, Dan. It's a tough one to get over.
Well, he's got to divide the front piece of wood, play the wood next to the 5-pin.
And a spare.
Spare up in the 10.
A couple of marks now for Joe. A strike and a spare. He has a 102 plus this ball before he pulls the curtain down on the first game. Seven more, so that is a 109. Hey, we'll be telling you more about this cruise coming up when we come back. There's the address, Cruise Big Shot Bowling. Drop of 9 for Tommy. Yeah, we got some exciting information for you people when we come back about a cruise, how you can win a cruise. Compliments of National Tours and Travel.
Spare up in the 9th for Tommy. He's going to have the lead, but not by very much unless he can fill this and get another mark. 7 drop, 2, 4, 5. Left for him, 103.
Olszta hoping to make it 2 in a row here on Big Shot Bowling. And another one. 4 spares in the first game for Tom. Closes out with a couple of spares, so he has a 113 plus this ball. Joe Ashline ended up with a 109. add 7 more to the score sheet, and that's going to give him a 120 game. Tom Olszta winning the first game over the challenger Joe Ashline here on Big Shot Bowling with a 120 to a 109. We'll be back with the second game, and we'll be telling you about an exciting cruise coming up, and it could be yours when we come back here on Big Shot Bowling. Leading it with a 120 to a 109. You mean, Dan, all they have to do is send in a postcard to Six Gun Productions?
That's all they have to do.
They don't have to write anything, huh?
Well, if they want a few comments about yourself or myself or...
Yeah, but they'll have to do it in 6 words or less.
Exactly. 6 Gun Productions.
That's right. If they send in a card and it's more than 6 words, we're going to throw that card out. So it's got to be 6 words or less, or you don't have to say anything. Just send in your card with your name and address on it, and you could be a winner. And we'd like to thank National Tours and Travel in Shakers Heights, Ohio. If you're wondering if the people that work on Big Shot Bowling are eligible, like most shows, they're not. But on this show, everyone in the world is eligible. Yes, if Jim and Tammy send in a card, they're eligible.
Make it 10 for Tommy. 19 after 2.
Here's Joe Ashline, the challenger. Joe had a disappointing 109 in the first game. He had a strike and a spare. But as you said, Dan, and you pointed it out so vividly, he throws the ball so hard, if he's off the head, he can be in a heap of trouble.
The opposite side of that coin is if he's in the pocket, he's going to get a ton. So he really throws the ball hard. Gets a lot of mixing action, but if he's a little off, he's going to end up with such a split he just had, 3-6-4-7. He's had the 3-6-4 a couple times.
At a drop of 9, Joe is going after a spare. And by the way, during the match, if someone gets a triple strike, doing himself an outstanding AMA gift, valued at many bucks.
Mini or many?
Many.
Spare up.
Spare it, baby.
Second for Joe Ashline.
Here's Tommy. Tommy came into this game leading by 11, a 120 to a 109. Tommy dropping 9. Oh,
Wood cost him.
might we call that ugly wood out there, Dan?
Exactly.
Added 10 for Tom Olszta. Tom with a high single of a 209. Best 3 of 496. Those are heavy numbers. His average of 126.
3-6 with a 7. Oh, nice shot by
Yes.
Tommy.
Superlative.
Well, yes, and many other adjectives. 3-6-7. Watch the wood come off the wall. Just nudged it going into the pit. Great shot by Tommy. His first mark of the second game.
Tommy now with 5 spares in the match. And Joe comes back and drills down 7.
And again, can't catch that extra pin. 2-4-6 this time.
Joe makes his home in Nashua, New Hampshire. He's been on the tour for 4 years. And his best high single, a 203. Best triple, a 495. And and his average is a 129.
Oh, wow. And again, can't get them close together. The 8 and the 10.
This guy's in with dad, isn't he?
Yes, 3.5-month-old baby boy, Derek. Yeah.
Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Superlative there, Bob.
You got it, baby. Let's watch it again.
Watch the wood
this
next
one.
to the 10-pin clear out the 8. Great shot. Great shot.
Got it. Joe now with three spares and a strike. Here's the guy who bowls for Mr. Sid. Sid's Auto Body. Oh, nice one by Tommy.
They're up in the 5th. You could even give Sid's... Is that his home phone? Oh, we don't fool around with home phones anymore.
No, not anymore.
No,
We would never give out a home phone.
No.
Remember the time we gave out that home phone for Johnny the Joker?
Oh.
Or Joke Man or whatever? Johnny the Jokester or whatever they called him.
Poor Dan the Color Man got heat for that one.
Oh, you did, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
2, 5, and 8. Tommy trying to make it 3 marks in a row.
Spare 7, spare 7. Let's see if he got another spare. Got it.
Sir.
3 in a row now in this game, and of course 7 overall. He had 4 en route to that 120, but he had some disappointing fills.
Saw the replay of that 3rd mark by Tommy Olszta. This when somebody starts to take a run at Tommy, puts a string together for himself. And similar shot, this time the 3-6-9, opposite side for Joe Ashline. No wood to help him out, though.
Missed it. High, wide, and not so handsome on that one. And a 9 count for Joe. We're going to be taking a break right after this box. So if you got to go to the party, hold on for a couple of more balls. Yes. That's it. It's party time here on Big Shot Bowling. We'll be back with more. But first, let's break for these messages. It is 5-3 in this game and 14 in the match. Still have a 7 for Tommy.
And again, that's a similar shot that we've had. 2, 5, and 8.
Oh. That's the 2 and the 5, but the 8 is still up, as you can see. And a 10 count for Tom Olszta. We're in the second game. It's all happening here on Big Shot Bowling. Top of 9 for Tom with a lot of lumber down there. A log jam down on the thin plate, lane number 30. Tommy on his tiptoes for a moment there, Dan. Got it. Just have to overpower the pin.
Right. He's trying to take a good look at that front piece of wood. It's the right angle. Decided to drive the ball straight through the wood for the 7-pin.
He's had 4 spares out of the last 5 frames in this game. Last week, Tommy had 6 strikes. He's yet to strike in this one.
Joe Ashline is hanging tough, though. 3-6 left, drops up 8 on the spare. And 2 in a row for Joe.
Joe now with his, 4th spare in this game. He's got 5 spares overall and 1 strike. Fill of an 8 on the spare for Joe Ashline.
Make it 96.
Oh, tough one for Joe. Joe a bit upset with that one.
A little bit upset. I think
Yeah, a whole bunch of upset.
he's going to punish this pin. Watch the velocity in this ball. That pin's going to jump out of the way.
Got it. Wow, did he ever beat it up? A 106 with 2 to go for Joe in the second game. You can see in the first he had a 109. Tommy working on a spare. He leads by 10 in the match. And a fill of a half dozen. 2-4, 3-6. Very interesting lead. You don't see that too often.
Yeah, it's a ball you don't want to see it too
No. Like never is too often. And a 9 for Tommy. Tommy with a 115 with 1 to go. The executive producer of Big Shot Bowling is John E. Liggums. Johnny the Joke Man. If you'd like the telephone number for Johnny the Joke Man, we'll give it to you in the final string. So stick around, go get your pencil or pen and pad handy, or crayon, whatever it might be.
Look at 10, 125 for Tommy.
Along with a 120, so that is a 245 after Acampo. Last week, Tommy had a win over Bruce Young. That's after Bruce had won 4 in a row. Dan, who's coming by next week?
Well, son of a Hall of Famer, Jack Stanek will be with us.
And he's a good one. And his dad also was a good one and a great one. And he's now enshrined in Candlepin Bowling's Hall of Fame. I know you're going to be there someday, Dan.
Along with you, Bob.
I hope so. Mentally, I'm already there.
Well, Joe's going to take a quick look at this. 5, 7, 8. I don't think there's much choice. He's going to hit the 5 pin.
Well, all but one.
I really don't agree with that shot, Bob, but
That's why you're up here to disagree once in a
right.
while.
I would have played the 5 pin, but
Maybe he tried.
yeah, maybe he was. Missed it by a foot and a half. No, he wasn't playing. He was playing the wood.
Joe with a drop of 7, hoping to spare.
We have a famous 3 pins up this match, 2, 5, and 8. And about a half a dozen times.
I know it. And it's a very difficult one.
There's a sleeper in the back. Always. 8 pins always the toughest. Well,
He needs this one for a tie.
For a tie. It'll remain those 11 pins behind. And make it an even dozen.
A 9 and a 124. So there it is. A 124 to a 125 in the second game. Olszta with the 125. Ash with the 124. And after our couple, Tommy on top by a dozen. 245 to 233. We'll be back with the final game. But first, let's roll away for these messages on Big Shot Bowling.
The WCBC are firmly behind, and we'd like to ask you for your contribution to help us out. It's located at the New England Medical Center's floating hospital. And it's a great cause, and again, we're behind it this year, along with 6 Gun Productions, and we ask for your help.
We'd love to have you send a tax-deductible check to the center. Center for Children with Special Needs. And there it is on the screen, the New England Medical Center, 750 Washington Street in Boston, Massachusetts, 02111. And now let's get back to the bowling. We'd like to thank the WCBC and 6 Gun Productions for being behind this fine cause. The Center for Children with Special Needs.
The 2 and the 6 pins left for Joe. Drive the wood back. You might catch both of them. No?
Joe comes into this game trailing by a dozen. We're into the final here on Big Shot Bowling, showcasing the champ, Tom Olszta, against the challenger, Joe Ashline. 10 count for Joe. Joe with games of 109 and 124. Tommy with a 120, 125. one. That's his second strike of the match.
That's the pocket Joe has to hit, too. The 1-3 pocket.
Pocket rocket, got them all.
Picture-perfect strike. Just tripping the 4-pin.
Tommy comes back in the 1-3 pocket, but he leaves the diamond leave or the bucket leave, whichever you prefer. 2, 4, 5, and 8. 2 and 8 go down. 4 and 5 are still there. And a 9 for Tom. Drop of 5.
2, 4, 7. 6, 10 on the right. And Joe Ashline is going to have a chance to cut into that 12-pin deficit.
Tommy hoping to make it 2 in a row here on Big Shot Bowling. And Joe looking for his first win. This is his second time on. Last time he was with us, he lost to Walter Hardiman.
That cuts the lead down to 10 because of Tommy's 2 9 boxes. So spare on the strike, and we could be all even.
Too full on the head and the spread eagle.
Going to get a spare. It's going to be a great shot.
Oh. Going after the 2, 4, 7, 3, 6, and 10. Goes the left side. Got the 4 and the 7. And a 7 count for Joe after a strike 6. Disappointing strike 6 and a 7 for 33 after 3 in the final game. Look at that high single at 203.
Got a good break there with the 10-pin going down. 2, 4, 7. Chance to put another mark up with a little added pressure on Tommy Olszta. And he does.
Oh, nice one. Nice spare off the bowling of Joe Ashline. Joe now with a half dozen spares and 2 strikes.
You see the replay. 2, 4, and 7. No problem there.
Here's Tommy. Tommy with a big ball. His first strike of the match. And he gets it in the 3rd frame of the final game.
That was a big one, too, because it was off at the 7th frame by Joe Ashline. So he gains 3 in count.
Looking for the double. No. Drop of a half dozen. Tom Olszta. 3-time Pro Bowler of the Year. Eight on the strike for Tom. And a 9. Dan, what year did you get Pro Bowler of the Year? Or did you?
I never did, Bob. I never did.
You will one of these days.
No, I think it might have passed me by.
Nah. This could be the year, Danny boy. This could be the year.
Disappointing 3 fill for Joe Ashline. Chance to gain, but only gain 1 now. The lead is still 11 pins.
And they're all getting big now. And a 7 count for Joe. Spare 3, then a 7. 53 at the midway point of the final game.
See the scoreboard there. Strike 7, spare 3, 7. And Joe is not only disappointing fills, but he's not pinning well either.
This is it. He shaves it down for the 10. 63 after a half dozen of the final game for Joe Ashline. Tommy leading by 11 up against a couple of open frames. And he's going to try to get the 4 horsemen for a spare. Tommy in this match, 8 spares, 1 strike. Right there, baby. Kisses them all goodbye.
Gains 3 more in count opposite those 7 frames by Joe Ashline.
A strike on the spare, and we're going to go to a commercial break right here on Big Shot Bowling. After a half dozen in the final game, Tommy on fire, and Tommy in the driver's seat. Let's come back and see how Tommy runs, how he jumps, and how he bowls. Ashline and Tom Olszta. Joe Ashline pulls the trigger and fires down and drops down 8. He's trailing by 24 in the match. Can't afford to miss those spares. And a 9 count for Joe. Two full in the head. Joe with a 72 after 7. The winner of this show will receive a couple of $100, compliments of 6 Gun Productions. Ooh, found the bunny hole. Runner-up 100. Both guys will be receiving trophies from George Gurton Trophy Center. George Gurton Trophy Center, located on Southbridge Street in Worcester, Massachusetts, the birthplace of candlepin bowling. A very disappointing 6 after a disappointing 9, and a disappointing 78.
Disappointing 3-game total, I'm sure, for Joe Ashline.
Wow, Tommy working on a strike. How light.
Beside himself right now, Joe is.
See what Tommy will do with this one. He's going to splash him around. Oh, well, he gets a disappointing fill of a 6 on the strike. But he adds a few pins to his lead. Jack Senick will be the challenger next week. Tommy leading it by 16 in this game. Overall, though, he's up by 28. And came up a little short that time. Not left oomph in the ball. 10 count for Tommy, so we're down to the final 2.
Bob, would you let me get not enough what on the ball?
Oh, not enough.
Is that a bowling term?
Yep, new one. Just heard it last week up in someplace. Oh my. Joe does not need the half Worcester, but he got it.
Probably wish he was in Worcester right now.
Yeah. Or at least half of Worcester. Joe, a good bowler. All the guys that appear here on Big Shot Bowling are great bowlers. They're members of the World Candlepin Bowlers Congress, the Pro Tour. And a drop of 7 for Joe after a 9. He will need a mark to get into the century mark. Started up this match with a 109. Last game he had a 127. And he's going to be under the century mark this time. 2 strikes and 6 spares.
Yeah. Just really struggled all day long.
A 96 in the final. And a 3-string count, as you can see, of a 329. Here's Tommy. He's going to win it for the 2nd straight week. Tommy Olszta from Sturbridge, Massachusetts, with a spare and a strike. 3 strikes along with 10 spares for Tommy, and all 3 strikes coming here in the final game.
You see the replay, 1-2 pocket this time, and the result is a result we've seen many times last week.
Looking for the double. No.
You got a double, all right, the 1 and the 8.
Yeah. Even Tommy heard that, and he smiled at that joke. Oh, speaking of jokes, Johnny the Joke Man We don't have time, Dan, so I can't give out his number this show. But
Maybe they'll flash it on the screen.
well, next week we'll get it. There it is. A 133 final game for the champ, two-time champ, and a 378. 378 for the champ and a 329 for Joe Ashline. We'll be back, and Tommy Gunn will have a shot at the cruise and a trip to Disney World. Stick around. It's all going to happen here on Big Shot Bowling. Rick and his dad, Joe Ashline. Thank you. Thank you, Derek. That's all right. Derek, what did you think of your dad's bowling? I don't blame you. He doesn't want to say anything.
Neither do we. I saw him throw a ball. He throws as good as his dad did today. So.
He's got his bowling socks on, so
That's
he's going to be the bowler of the family.
He's doing
He's got to do something for Dad, because Dad can't get on here and win.
Wasn't one of your better days, Joe?
It's a battle. It's like every time I get on, I battle his pin, so... Hey, now...
Here you go, Derek. This is for you.
Derek's
Everyone loves me.
Everybody loves me. Derek, we'll see you later, buddy.
Hey, bye-bye.
Joe, we're running out of time. $100 and, of course, a trophy from Girton Trophy Center. See us. There's that big smile by Derek. Let's hear it for Joe and his son, Derek. 3.5 months old. Did you look that good at 3.5?
Oh, yeah.
What's going to happen now in the show? Is the champ going after a triple?
Yeah, he's going to try to at least better his 17 box. And
Okay, let's go. Here he is. He's going for the triple.
Oh, get over.
Oh, and if he got the triple, he would have won himself a cruise and a trip to Disney World. Compliments of National Tours and Travels, and they're located in Shaker Heights, Ohio.
he's still the leader in the clubhouse with 17. The total pins in the box will determine the winner if we don't get a triple strike. So it's very important for him, again, to fill this mark.
There he is, our two-time champ.
Well, he's going to better it by 2. So he's the leader in the clubhouse now with 19.
Come on over here, champ. Let's have a nice round of applause for our two-time champ from Sturbridge, Massachusetts, Tom Olszta. Tom, you grabbed another win.
2 in a row, I'm hot.
You're on fire, huh? Another couple of $100 and a trophy from George Girton Trophy Center. You know where that place is, on Southbridge Street in Worcester?
Oh, yeah, I go by it a lot.
You might want to mention to Sid, but somebody beat up your fender out in the parking lot, too, so he's got a little more work to do in the car.
Here I come again, Sid.
Congratulations. Have a seat. We'll look forward to seeing you next week. Oh, by the way, Jack Zanuck is going to be by, too.
Another good bowler. We're teammates. I know how we can bowl, and it should be a good match. Real good match.
Congratulations. Let's have a nice round of applause for the champ. Have a seat, Tommy. Tommy Olszta, winning it for the second time in a row here on Big Shot Bowling. And coming back for the second week in a row, come on up, Walter J. DeRue. Walter J., we have a trophy for you. No one seems to want to bowl you. I don't know why. How come?
Well, I'm like a bad ball. Keeps coming back to him. But he has no place to hide. Eventually, he's going to have to bowl against me. Next week, I have a sponsor lined up. I hope to be better. And I feel he's going to have to bowl me eventually.
Well, if you don't get a 6, you won't be back next week, so get over there.
6 is in the bag.
6 is in the bag. Walter J. DeRue. He's the guy who came in and said he wanted to take on the champ after every show. Let's see if he can do it.
Tommy is dodging him.
Hey, Walter. How many did he get, Dan? I can't see that.
A one. He won. No, we don't count the one.
Walter!
We don't count the one standing.
Wow. Get over here, Walter. We're out of time. Get over here. You're not going to get the ball again. Nice going, Walter. Did you throw a trick shot that first ball?
No, I just want to torment him. I will be back.
You will be back.
I'll be back next week, and so won't I.
Give him the trophy.
We got a fellow on the top this week. It was a woman last week. That's why we couldn't give it to him.
Oh, I see. Okay, that's it. Bob Fouracre for the entire crew. Thanking you so much for being with us on Big Shot Bowling. Inviting you back next week. Tommy Olszta will be by